Good day, Chicago. Suicide rates are on the rise for millennials, one of the most stressed out generations.
Well, arguably, no one gets more grief these days than millennials. People say they're lazy, they're entitled, they're selfish. But whether or not you're of that opinion, one thing that can't be denied is that they are completely stressed out. Studies have shown that suicide rates among the generation are on the rise, and it is for a variety of reasons. So to talk more about this problem this morning is psychologist Dr. Amy Harris-Newman. Welcome back to the show. And a very staggering statistic here right off the top.
It's alarming. You know, according to Psychology Today, millennials experience more stress than any other age group. You know, whether I'm speaking at Harvard or I'm talking to listeners on my radio show, there's one thing I'm absolutely certain of. There's a definite disconnect when it comes to millennials managing stress.
So what is it that they're dealing with? What are the three big problems?
The first one is work. 40% of all unemployed Americans are millennials, and those that are working, most of them are in low-paying service-related jobs, despite being the most highly educated generation in history. You know, the second reason is work. Because of high levels of unemployment and underemployment, most millennials are saddled in debt they can't even cover. You know, the average college grad has over $30,000 in student loan debt. And to make matters worse, only 8% of millennials have a solid understanding of basic money management. Sure. And then relationships. And believe it or not, financial stress puts the greatest strain on those relationships. Most millennials aren't talking openly with their partners about money, so there's a tendency then to make poor or conflicting financial decisions. It's quite alarming.
A trickle-down effect for all of those. So say you're one of these people who finds yourself battling these things. I'm so stressed out. I'm in over my head in certain things. Where do you suggest they start?
You know, the first thing to do is develop healthy ways of coping. It could be exercise, accessing your support system, you know, meditating, spending time with family. The second thing to do, get off your tech and get a good night's sleep. Most millennials don't get enough rest, and believe it or not, getting a good night's sleep makes it so much easier for you to change how you think and how you feel. The third strategy is to get educated about money. Work with a good mentor or money coach to teach you how to get out of debt and how to start managing your money so you don't have to lay awake at night anxious and depressed worrying about how you're going to pay your bills. And then finally, see a good counselor or psychologist if you're really struggling. These healthcare providers are well trained to equip you with a whole host of healthy coping skills. And studies show that when people work with professionals to manage stress, they're better able to achieve their health and life goals. So if you're among one of those experiencing higher levels of stress, know that you've got options and support to help you achieve the health, wealth, and happiness that you deserve.
Use those resources. They are out there for a reason. And you talked about relationships. I want to bring it back to social media because there is this perception of perfection on social media that you see. And so many people get wrapped up in that, and they compare their lives to what they see on their screen or their tablet. This is a problem.
It is a problem. It's absolutely dangerous. You know, almost all of us have fallen into the comparison game at one time or another, and when we do, we almost always evaluate ourselves lower than other people. So really, it's advised to minimize your time on your tech and try not to spend so much time on Facebook or Twitter. I know they're great outlets. They're a great way to stay, connected, but it also increases the likelihood of people feeling bad about themselves, and it even increases social isolation, which could also increase stress.
So don't keep up with the Joneses. Be yourself. Dr. Harris, where can people go for more information?
I'm glad you asked. They can check out my website at dramieandassociates.com. That's DRAIMEE and associates.com.
All right. Thank you so much for helping us out with this. I know a lot of people out there are finding themselves in this boat, so hopefully they took a little something away from this. Richard, we'll send it over to you.